Hello, and welcome to episode 19 of By Night. And you join me here in Queen's Park in northwest London, where I feel like we're about to become very much on the home stretch. Just leaving behind me right now is the 6 that I just got in from Willesden, to be covered later in the series, because the time now is just gone 1, and the 6 is a 24-hour route. So, yes, I'm about to get on the my first route of the night, which is going to be the 36, which runs from here, starts here, down to New Cross Bus Garage, and from there we're going to be getting the N343 up to Trafalgar Square. The N343 is quite a weird route. That's going to be fun to explain later. And then it's going to be on to South London on the 12 and 176, going to Dulwich and back. And then after that, if we get time, we'll be doing the 159 down to Streatham. So, yes. So, to correct the intro, this is not episode 19, this is episode 17, getting ahead of myself. But we're on the 36 now, which is a rare beast for London. It's a cross-city service. Kinda. In that it doesn't actually go through central London proper. It sort of skirts the edge of central London. Which means, technically, if Go Ahead have to, they can put a diesel bus on it. But right now, we've got EH245, one of their Enviro 400 hybrids, which, yes, we ended the last episode on one of those. And it spat its coolant everywhere, which is not desirable behaviour for a bus, but we won't get bogged down with that. The 36. I don't know if you can hear it, but the rear axle is making quite a noise. So yes, the 36 runs from Queen's Park to New Cross Gate, through Paddington, Victoria, and I think Peckham? I'm not sure. I think Peckham sounds plausible. But we are just swinging through a massive turn there. So yes, 36. Very important bus route. And naturally, 24-hour one. So I did say we do have to cover the 6 this series. Willesden actually has 3 more buses we need to do this series, and if we didn't need to do 3, if we only needed to do 2, I was thinking of doing a concept that I could name the episode after, and that was going to be called the Willesden Shuffle. I guess this is the Dulwich Shuffle. So, yeah. But anyway, let's get to the B-roll.
New Cross Gate. Paddington Station, Eastbourne Terrace. To New Cross Gate. to New Cross Gate. Hyde Park Corner.
Alright, buddy, you going down? You have to check all the buses on the route, innit? Because soon we'll be going back that way. Yeah, we're going on next stop. Well, check it.
Can you jump from the top there?
Victoria
I
Station.
like my legs.
Vauxhall Bus Station. Camberwell Church Street, Camberwell Green.
Yes, man. What? Same, man.
So, I have now made it to New Cross Gate, slash New Cross. New Cross is one of those places where it's got two train stations and they've got slightly different names, and I don't know if that's because one part of New Cross is called New Cross Gate, or if it's just the railways being weird back in the early days. But we're in New Cross now. I've got to cross this big road. My bus will be going where that bus is currently parked up. But that's a 36, and I will be getting the N343. Now, we were due in to New Cross Gate, to New Cross Bus Garage at 2:13. It is now 2:05. So very nice, quick run, crossing roads, being careful not to die. Yeah, very good quick run. Ran early, and interesting oddity. Two revenue inspections within about 5 minutes of each other as we came through central London. Which, I mean, sure. It's rare to get a revenue inspection on a London bus. They do happen, but it's far from common. So, yeah, to get two within 5 minutes of each other on the same bus, there must be something going on. But anywho, I'm going to get on the N343.
Albany Road. St. Albert Road. Inverton Road. Surrey Road.
And you now join me on Go Ahead London's EH259 on the N343, which is apparently being driven by Max Verstappen tonight. The N343 is a very weird route, extending
Lunkhead Lane.
the daytime 343 from London Bridge up to Trafalgar Square via Waterloo. The full route runs from New Cross Bus Garage up to Trafalgar Square via Brockley, Peckham, Walworth.
N343 to Trafalgar Square.
Yeah, via Brockley, Peckham, Walworth, Elephant and Castle, London Bridge, and Waterloo. It's a very circuitous route. But I mean, I've been on this bus for all of 4 minutes, and it's already quite fun. You know, if you come down to London to ride the night buses for fun, you know, as I do. Well, I live in London for now. Yeah, the 343 bucket list route apparently. Especially if it leaves New Cross a little bit late, as this one did. So yes, let's get back to the B-roll.
Peckham Rise Station.
So, you now join me on a side street just off of Whitehall, having gotten off of the what was that? That was the N343. Very interesting driving style there. Sometimes Formula 1, sometimes Sunday drive. But you know, keep people on their toes, it's fun. So, I'm heading back up to Trafalgar Square, where I don't know whether I'll be picking... Well, I've just seen the 12 go, so it's probably going to be a 176. And seeing as it's going to be a 176 next, I think that means I'll be getting off it in Peckham. Because I've decided that rather than going straight to Dulwich and back, I'm going to go and do the 345 and 344. You know, second time lucky. So I've worked out my plan for the rest of the morning, and that is going to involve me getting the 12 down to Peckham, and then the 345 across to Clapham Junction. And then from there I should have time to get a 344 up Liverpool Street. So, there's a lot of buses happening, and I don't know if I've missed 12. Because they are tracking, they're just not tracking well at all. Like iBus or whatever, wherever BusTimes gets its feed from, wasn't, like, it died the moment I got into Trafalgar Square. It's back now, but it's not working right. So, that's bad. There's a bunch of buses. Those two route masters are on N15s. They're meant to be 10 minutes apart. Something's not gone well. This Gemini 3 is the first bus one, so I'm assuming that's on an N18. And yeah. But my next move is to go onto the 12. Right, so it's update time. Inevitably, everything has hit the fan. And turns out I've been standing in the doorway of the Canadian Embassy for this clip and the last one. But yeah, everything's broken. The 12 is broken. The 176 is broken. iBus is broken as a system, which means tracking is dead on both BusTimes and London Vehicle Finder. The 88's still running though. But yeah, I'm waiting at where I was going to pick the 12 up. Presumably there'll be a 159 soon. I can get that down to Brixton, and then we can get a 345 from there. But yeah, things have not gone well. So you now join me from the back of Go Ahead London's LT687 on the 12. Because as soon as I finished recording that last clip, one showed up. So we're now like half an hour behind, and we started half an hour behind, so we're now an hour behind on where I really wanted to be. Heading down to Peckham on the 12 as planned. W? But yeah, the 12. The 12 runs from Oxford Circus down to Dulwich Library via a bunch of places. Hang on. So the 12 runs via Trafalgar Square, Elephant and Castle, Camberwell and Peckham, between Oxford Circus and Dulwich Library. It's a 24-hour route, there's no end. You're going to start seeing a lot more of those. The series comes into its final episodes. There's a few left still, but yeah, we're definitely nearing the end. If I do the 344, we will have 40 routes left to cover. If not, we will have 41. So watch this space for that. In the meantime, we're just going underneath Waterloo Station, up there. And so let's get back to the B-roll.
I don't fucking know. You slayed so hard tonight. Your karaoke was so good. There's so many people cheering for you. Literally, yeah, especially when you were doing outrageous. But everyone was joining in.
Peckham Library.
And I've now made it to Peckham, where hopefully things will start to cool down. They got very hectic at Trafalgar Square because everything died and I had no idea where I was going. I had no idea what bus I was going to get on next. And like, I normally plan these out relatively well. Incredibly well, for the fact that I actually don't have a rigid plan. But you know, I normally have such a good idea of where I'm going that it's basically a plan. Without being quite so rigid. And just going behind me there is a 345. So I will be spending half an hour at Peckham bus station, which is not what I wanted. This has not gone well. This might be a 4-route episode, which is not nice. It seems whenever I involve the 344 and 345 in something, everything breaks. So, yeah, I will be spending half an hour up to Peckham bus station, and then getting on the next 345. Because that's all I have from here, I think. Yes, it is. Because I've done the 37, I've done the N381. The only one left is the 345. So, yeah, I'll see you on the N3, on the 345. There's no N. And you now join me on Transport UK's 2477 on the 345. This is one of their ADL Embaro 400Hs, and it sounds very rough. That has to be said. But yeah, we're on the 345, which runs from Peckham to South Kensington via Camberwell, Brixton, Stockwell, Clapham Common and Clapham Junction. We're on it as far as Clapham Junction this morning because I have decided that I will get the 344 in, even though it's going to be a bit of a of a late one. It's definitely gonna be a daytime 344, but we're counting it because I want this to be a 5-route episode, and yeah, just give me this W. So yeah, B-roll.
Denmark Hill, Camberwell Green. Shakespeare Road. Stansfield Road. Stockwell Green. Union Road.
Right, so it's 5:30 in the morning, and you join me not in Clapham Junction again. You join me again not in Clapham Junction, but in Battersea, because I fell asleep on the bus. These things happen, but I definitely have a title for this episode now. If you're familiar with the various plays that are on in London at the moment, or were on recently, I don't know if it's finished, but The Night That Goes Wrong. The difference between this episode and a play that goes wrong is a play that goes wrong is scripted to go wrong. This was not. This was meant to go correctly. This genuinely went wrong several different ways. So, yeah, that's fun. So I had a whole plan for how I was going to get home from Liverpool Street. I was going to do the 153 and then the 260 to get to Brent Cross via Finsbury Park, and then I was going to get the 266 down from Brent Cross. But I'm so tired. So I'm probably just going to get the 49 from the stop right behind me there, which is the Latchmere, and get that to White City, and then the 260, because I'm tired, I need sleep. So, this is still an episode of By Night. We still have to do the traditional By Night outro. So, I think all that's left to be said is I will see you on Monday from City Bus Manager on the South Coast, Big One, episode 80. On Thursday from City Bus Manager once again in West Scotland. And next week from By Night. Bye bye.